Hell yeah, it's that time again. Tuesday night, you know what that means? All Over Overland show hosted by Mr. Michael Hayden. And yes, he is back tonight. So we're going to have him on the show tonight, which, quite honestly, I was not thinking he would be. I was thinking it was going to take him about another week. And so this is a pleasant surprise. So anyway, but before we get started, as always, a special shout out and a special thanks to Chad from the Overland Attic, Midland Radio USA. We really appreciate you guys. Rugged Bound, all of our sponsors. Thank you so much for helping us bring this content to you. And yeah, so hey, look, let's just not beat around the bush. Let's go ahead and bring in Mr. Dingleberry himself. And all the way from Alaska, who is now like he's a bear wrestler, y'all. It's Michael.
Nope, not going to be wrestling any bears. I'm not looking into doing any of that. But hey, everybody, hello from Alaska. We made it. We are set up. I'm actually in the garage right now because I looks like I'm going to have like possibly a studio room. It's going to be an office / the All Over Overland spot, I guess. So I'm going to be working on that. So until then, we get the garage. There's a heater if I need it. It was like 48 degrees today, but a little chilly, but not the same. It's weird. It's just not the same.
Well, dude, I got to say that for us, it was about 81 degrees today and 70 something yesterday. And that was quite refreshing. So not like that 40 something, because man, I really dig those temperatures. How are the bugs?
The mosquitoes are here. I don't think they're in quite full force yet, because it hasn't been terrible. But once you go outside, they kind of get around you and then they leave you alone. So
I've been told that it's not like your mosquitoes like in Georgia and places where they literally just eat you alive. Where up there they're just more annoying, buzzing around you than they are biting you or stinging you.
Yeah, I mean I've heard those and gnats are the two things, and they kind of do the same thing. They swarm you.
Yeah.
And then the swarm moves off, but they're big.
Got it.
Yeah.
They look big.
Right now they're not. They're bigger than what we had in Oklahoma right now, but I think they're going to get bigger.
So, what's been the most, I guess, awing thing that you've seen so far?
Dude, if you've seen the video, it's that drive-in. I have it as a short on the YouTube page, All Over Overland, and that drive was, dude, like you get on that road, the Seward Highway, and you leave Anchorage.
Yeah.
And you've got water on one side and you've got mountains on the other. And then when you get around that and you're in the peninsula, you've got mountains on both sides.
Right.
So, yeah, the views are unbelievable. Saw moose today. I hadn't seen one yet. Saw moose on the side of the road today. Sarah missed it.
Nice.
But yeah, and I'm surprised I haven't seen more. I've been driving around quite a bit, just going to the store and going to Kenai, which is a little further away than where we're at. So there's a little bit of a spacey drive.
How much is regular gas there?
I got gas in Kenai for $3.79.
Okay, so here we're at what, 309 maybe?
Okay. Oh wow, that's a big
something like that.
Yeah, and it jumped up whenever I came back by. It jumped up to 384.
Wow.
So just in the time that I drove up the road and back, it was already quite a bit more.
Pictures or it doesn't count, says the Wolf's
Look,
Den.
pictures of the gas?
No, I think he's talking about pictures. But Michael's posted pictures on all over Overland, I believe. And
Yeah,
his
yeah.
and
And
his
Instagram has a few, and then the
yeah,
YouTube channel has a couple shorts.
yeah.
Had a really unfortunate thing happen in the garage. There's a video on that. There was a crime scene. A little bird lost its life.
Oh, pictures of the moose or it doesn't count.
Oh, pictures of the moose. Okay. Dude, it counts. There's so many up here. It's not.
So Michael's telling me prior to going live that his neighbors in Alaska who they've met, they told Michael that there's a bush out in front of their house that the moose just like to. That's their spot to go. They eat on it and all that stuff. So I'm sure that Michael's going to have that M50 out there popping off pictures.
And he also said you'll get some bane on your house, and you're like, "What is going on?" And you'll look out, and a moose is scratching its back on your house and hitting it, with either its head or its, antlers, if it hasn't. So
Scott says, "How far are you from town? How close your nearest neighbor?" Actually, he's close.
I'm right. Like my neighbor is just like a step. Like we have property line that touches and a fence, and so we're in a kind of a normal type neighborhood that you would think of, but it's not one that would have like curbs, or paved streets or streets are gravel.
It's a rural neighborhood, like
yeah. But I mean, they're like right next to us, and then town is just out. Get out of the neighborhood and turn right, and you're starting to hit some of the stores. But yeah, going to the grocery store from here is probably 5 to 10 minutes away, maybe. So we're right in town.
Scott, his lot is just a little over a quarter, maybe and less than a half. So in between. I just looked it up. I looked it up on Zillow. That's how I know that answer. I think
Lee has my address.
Yeah, it was 0.38 acres or something like that. So
yeah, it's pretty good size. I mean, really, it's way bigger than a lot you get normally in a neighborhood, because that would be like a 2 point or a 0.26 or 0.25 or maybe a quarter of a. Yeah,
I do know this. So Scott says Lee's already stalking you. Yeah, dude, I'm looking for land in different places. So I got on Zillow and started looking around and found a few spots. But what's amazing is how many houses are in the millions, like multi-million-dollar houses up there.
Yeah, a lot of people that live here have money, man, and a lot of those people have more than one house. We found that out at the first time we came in. We were in a liquor store, and the guy was like, "Well, my Arizona home," and we're like, "Okay, we get it.
Yeah,
we read you, we follow you."
So in the winter, I'm in Arizona, and in the summer, I'm in Alaska. Yeah, makes perfect sense.
Yeah. Or you do the off season in both and rent the hell out of it.
Yeah, no kidding. What how's Penny acclimating?
She's good.
For those of you who don't know, Penny is Michael's sweetheart of a pet pup. She's not a puppy really anymore, though, is she?
No, she's not a puppy. She's all woman. She sniffs around a little bit when she first goes. Like the first few times, she was like sniffing and looking, and then she'd go out and do her business, and she'd kind of look around and sniff, and
like this ain't what I'm used to.
And there's a neighbor that has a yellow lab. It's deaf. It's older, and he's not, he's not up to Molly's.
He doesn't want to play.
Yeah, Molly. Penny's doing circles around him.
Yeah,
and everything. So yeah, Penny's doing good. She's a little bit better now. The dog across the street came over to say hi, and Penny was like, It went inside. It was like, I don't
No
I don't
way.
know. I don't know this one. No.
Oh, jeez. That's funny.
So, but the house had one more bedroom than we did anticipated,
Mhm.
and it has a sauna.
Sauna.
So we don't know if it works. We haven't turned it on yet. We have a handyman that's going to look at it first to make sure we don't blow anything up because there was nothing listed about it. So maybe you're just supposed to ignore it. I don't know.
Chad wants to know if there are any overland stores in Alaska. Yeah, actually there is, and they just followed us today. Actually, what's it called? Michael Truck. Hang on. Total Truck Accessory Center in Is it Fairbanks? Right? Yeah.
That's in.
No, they're in Anchorage. Sorry.
In Anchorage. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's Craig's place.
Okay.
So Craig also does the Alaska Overlander, which are the rental vehicles that you can get. And he picked me up at the airport and gave me the tour for the tourists, and just so I knew the things and all that kind of stuff. And then took me over to the truck. Super nice guy. Can't wait to go camp with him, and we'll probably have him on the radio at some point. I got to go down to a shop. I got to do all those things. But yeah, he owns both companies. So yeah, if you're in the area, that's the go-to place.
I'm thinking you need to get down there and set up shop somewhere and tell them, say, look, I need a studio room here so we can do.
Right. Yeah.
Awesome.
So and then Molly will be here on the 2nd of July, and I'm looking forward to going and picking her up and driving her home. That's going to be. I'll be spending 6 hours of my life driving that highway, but you know what?
The look on her face will be, yeah.
So that'll be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to that. I start work on Thursday with Northwood Building Company out of Sterling. So I'll be the sales rep for them. Garages, cabins, barns, tiny homes, greenhouses. They build and then bring it to your area that you want to drop the house at.
Hell yeah.
Drop the shed off at. So looking forward to getting into that, starting that. And then still looking to get out and explore. We went out a little bit this week. Shot a little video for that. We got on with some back roads mainly.
There's our buddy Nicholas from New Mexico in the house. Hey, Chad, if you're still listening, this is the cat that's going to hook us up for our trip to Colorado.
Oh, the fishing? Are you guys going fishing?
Yeah. Well, Chad may not go fishing. Chad may just sit around and watch me cuss and throw shit, but we're gonna make our way through New Mexico and north, and I'm gonna try to take Chad over Medino Pass.
Didn't Nicholas tell us that he got something because he caught so many fish? And
yeah, he did that. What do they call it? Like the triple or whatever it is there in New Mexico. The three. Yeah.
Three main species.
There's his page, New Mexico Expedition, overlanding. Yep.
But yeah, so I'm excited about getting back into my groove. Using the garage right now as kind of the spot, but this will move downstairs into one of the rooms in the basement. I'll have better control of the lighting and sound and stuff like that. So it'll work out pretty good. And it's no windows in that room. So I'll be able to manipulate all kinds of light.
Chad's going to drink whiskey and I'm going to fish. There you go.
There you go. Speaking of which, put your cups up.
Tonight I'm not doing whiskey. Sorry.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Well, I've had grandkids here. As a matter of fact, I might have to bail on you.
Oh yeah, that's right. You may have to leave. So
we still got a little time. Grandkids are here from Salt Lake, so
right on. So
okay,
did you
wait. I gotta ask you this question. Hold on. Why haven't you camped yet? I just need to understand.
Dude, we've been getting a house together. Like we've
Well,
been
obviously
unloading things and
obviously
getting
your
things
priorities are
in.
not in order. I thought I trained
Well,
you better.
I beg to differ.
I thought I
care of
trained
the
you
ladies
better.
first.
You should have already had that fucking camper or tent open and camping, even if it's in the front yard. Thought I taught you
Probably.
better.
I mean, yeah, it's buddy. Believe me, you guys are all going to be impressed with what happens. So,
I know we are. I'm looking forward to it.
dude,
I'm trying to figure out how I can leave here and come up there.
I'm
Finish out
putting
the summer.
together. So I'm putting together like this week. I've been putting together some video that I'll put out on over the weekend.
Yeah.
And it's kind of telling you a little bit about where I'm at
Hmm.
and just the normal things. And so I'm gonna hit on that for the first video or two, and then start expanding to where the roads I go down and the places that I camp and the adventures that I get into. I guess cross country skiing's huge here. We saw some kids on
Dude,
the blades.
I've seen you
on
in
the
a bathing
sidewalk.
suit. They don't make cross country skis wide enough for your ass.
Really rude.
Dude, they don't make them big enough for my ass. Are you kidding me? No,
I-
you need snowshoes, not cross country skis.
Is it time for you to take your grandkids to the airport yet?
You know what I was thinking about today?
But anyway, my neighbor does
Go
it.
ahead.
And
Go ahead.
He's older than me and the same size, girth. So, shush your face.
Look, here's what you really need to do. You got to get on board with this fishing thing because when I come up there, I need you to take me to all the good fishing spots.
Well, I understand the one right across the street's really good.
He was across the street. What are the odds? Oh, geez.
So yeah,
No.
he asked me, like, that neighbor asked me several times, "You like to fish?" I was like, I mean, I fished in Oklahoma a little bit. He goes, "But do you like to fish?" And I was like, mainly what we got was catfish and
That's not what I'm talking. Motherfucker, do you like to fish?
so I had to get rid of everything
Yeah.
because all I had were like 5 foot, 6 foot poles. And he goes, "Oh yeah, you need big poles." And
Salmon
he goes,
tacos.
"But do you like to fish?" And I was like, "Okay, I like to fish." And he goes, "All right then." He goes, "Because this right here is the spot."
Is it? Oh, jeez. All right. Well, just get it all figured out because I want to be able to come up there and I want to go fish and camp.
We had some rockfish. Was that last night? I think it was last night. Yeah. The Airbnb, the first night that we were in Anchorage, we got an Airbnb, and that wonderful host gave us some salmon, wild caught salmon, and wild caught rockfish, and I'd never heard of or
Ooh.
seen rockfish.
Oh, rockfish. It's a white meat.
Dude,
Yeah.
it was good. What's he saying?
Nicholas says we have plenty of breweries with amazing fish and chips in New Mexico.
We got some good breweries here. The first one we went to was a little expensive. The cans were huge. Saint Elias, Saint Eli, Saint ELIAS, whatever the word that is. And then we went to the other brewery here in town in Soldotna.
Well, either way, you're gonna have to work on this.
But it was good, and I'm kind of trying to get to some places before I talk to them or talk about them.
Yeah,
because I want to know if they're like. Because at first I'd been like, this Saint whatever brewery is amazing and it's good, but it's expensive, man.
Really? What? Okay,
for
reference,
4 cans that were 32 ounce. Each can was 32 ounce.
But overall, in general, have you been to the grocery store?
Yeah.
Is it that much more expensive for the basics than it is down here?
I'm trying to think of what it was that I grabbed, because we had an order and then I had to go in and it didn't seem to be that bad on some things, but like brooms and plungers were really expensive. Right?
Seems
Yeah.
kinda weird.
Like $20 for a plunger.
Although Scott has a really good point here. If you were a food critic, you could get free food at most places.
True. I'm not a food critic.
Yeah, I'd wondered about that, and I
But
meant to ask you days ago, and just send you a text and go, "Hey, is the basics, your eggs and milk and Coca-Cola or whatever it is you drink, is that stuff much more expensive?" I mean, I would guess that it would be a little bit more, but
I think it's a little bit more, but we're gonna be proud members of the Safeway, and they get like a lot of discounts. for
there you
being a
go.
member.
Yeah.
We're like, yeah, we saw the prices, like the yellow sticker compared to the white sticker. We want the yellow sticker price.
Yeah.
We
I
want that price.
I want that membership price, please.
Yeah, we want that price.
So, but back in Anchorage,
We didn't go. We just went. McDonald's. I went to McDonald's, and it was probably about $1 ish more.
got it.
For the meal that I get.
So, in general, everything is. I'm
it's
based
not
off what
too
you're
bad.
saying.
There were some steaks. We bought some steaks, and that's one thing we thought would probably be kind of a
Expensive.
expensive thing. And there was only like 12, like
So,
11.
so anywhere from about 20 to 35%, somewhere around there is probably what you're paying a little bit more of. So it's really not.
But it
horribly
doesn't.
bad.
It's not terrible, but it's not. You do this and you think it's going to be just you're not going to be able to catch up ever.
Yeah.
Because at first you're like, well, how much does everything cost? I heard like half a watermelon cost $36.
What?
And then I saw one at the store for normal watermelon price. Now we did get some apples from Walmart in a pickup.
Yeah.
And the guy brought them back out to me and he goes, "Hey, I want you to look at these." And they had a bunch of black spots on them. And I was like, "Yeah, no." And he goes, "Well, I got another bag. Let me go check." I think we've got one more bag of apples, period. Period.
Sure.
Not just the kind I wanted, but period. And they too had little blacks. It was a little smaller, but they had the black spots on them.
Wow.
And I was like, so apples are he goes, he said, produce is really 50-50, man. And this is the guy at Walmart. He was like, it's really 50-50 here. So, if I were going to be buying, I would probably come in to buy your produce.
Yeah.
And stuff. Oklahoma, you didn't have to think about it.
Produce wow.
Always pretty good.
Craig says hello or hey.
Hey, it's Craig. Yeah, I was talking about you.
Okay, Craig has
Craig's the guy that picked me up. He
has, okay, cool.
Rental company and the accessory company.
Man, I wish I could have had a conversation with him before that happened.
Dude, he's really cool and he's really tall.
No, I know, but
I didn't think he'd be so tall. Oh, you were gonna.
No, dude, I wouldn't badmouth you, but I would have set you up somehow or another. It's a good thing I didn't get a hold of him before you got there. Or
probably so. But
I would have had him take you on the Alaska version of snipe hunting, whatever the hell they call it. I don't know, but
too funny. He picked me and the dogs up and took me to the truck, and we got it all figured out, and I appreciated it a lot and had a great conversation. He drove me around. Lee, you're going to be interested. It's the largest seaplane airport is in Anchorage.
Nice.
I think it's the largest in the world.
Maybe if I come up there, I can schedule off about a week and do a seaplane endorsement, because I don't have a seaplane endorsement, but I wouldn't mind getting one.
That'd be cool. And then you can fly me around.
Yeah. Yeah, we could go lake hopping instead of island hopping like they do in Hawaii.
We did see on the way in, we did get to see a seaplane land at a lake. Or a float plane, whatever you want to call them.
The ones that impress me the most are like your big twin otters, big turboprops, or even the the big Cessna Caravans. I love watching those things, especially those turboprops. Of course, I got a special place for those. But anyway, well, then that means we may have to go fishing, and while we're fishing, we may have to do some plane watching. How about that?
Yeah, yeah. He took me to a place that's really good to watch the planes come out of the big airport there. So, just drove me around. Was super nice. Can't wait to spend more time getting to know him and some of the other overlanders here in Alaska.
Yeah.
What's Craig? What we got going on here?
It says right here, when y'all headed out, we'll take you out to some spots where you've been where we've been shot at and caught some 10-ounce hogs. I'm not really sure, but you know what? Sounds like a good time. So Michael and I are in.
Always, we're always in for a while,
right? Scott says nothing more Alaskan than bush planes.
Yeah, right. I mean,
I agree.
Pretty cool. I never really thought since I've been here, and right before we got here, I told you I was like, man, maybe I need to take a class, start working on getting a license.
There you go.
Or at least have some knowledge of it.
Push forward, it goes. Hey, push forward, the earth gets big. Pull back, it gets small.
I was watching a video on the float planes how they don't have windsocks. They just look at the water.
Yeah, they look at the water. You can see the wind blowing across the water and get an idea. Yeah, it's pretty cool. You can also, there's trees around. You can see some of the trees, but yeah, you just look at the water. And it's pretty cool.
Anyway, there is something I want to talk about before you may or may not have to leave, and that's the new Lexus. Have you seen this thing?
Yeah, I did. And I took a really good look at this thing. And you know what my first
naysayer, aren't you?
No, but you know what my first impression was? Wow, that's cool, but it looks like a Sequoia. To me, it looks like the new Sequoia, but dolled up.
Mm-hmm. Have you seen the new Land Cruiser?
I don't think I've seen it. No, I did see
basically they're going to change things on a 70 series.
Okay.
And make it more worldwide marketable.
Really?
And the things they're going to do would make the market open up here. And it's supposedly going to be very stripped down. Like really stripped down. Like maybe not as many electronics as.
Dude, $90,000?
Which one did you pull up?
The Land Cruiser.
Yeah, that's a little much. But it's going to be, from what I saw, at least one of the versions is going to be, locking differentials and a center lock.
And the thing is, I guess the Lexus.
Yeah.
And the Land Cruiser are going to look a lot alike. In 2025. Oh, this is all the way into 2025. Okay. Well, either way, I liked it, the new Lexus. I did. But my first initial thought was, ooh, that looks nice. But it's kind of looks like a Sequoia just dressed way up.
Yeah, Craig, I agree. I think it's a Nissan Patrol lookalike. I think you nailed it.
Yeah.
Oh, here. Sorry.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. In fact, whenever I first saw it, that's the first thing that came into my mind was actually, am I looking at a new Isuzu Trooper? Or am I looking at like a cross between like the side of it felt more Patrol? I agree.
Yeah. Either way, I like the way it looks. I think it'll be, I don't know much about what suspension it'll have, if it's going to be all independent or if it's going to have, a solid rear and independent front. I don't know. I didn't read that detailed into it. I kind of did the guy thing and looked at the pictures.
Yeah. Yeah. What I usually do. Scott said that he has an insider friend at Toyota that said the new Land Cruiser will have a trim level that is base model and very affordable. I think that's maybe where I was hearing, like, um,
Okay.
even
Okay.
crank up windows, possibly. Um, Stuff that
So
I've always been like, I would love to have a
so
base trim with the suspension shit of a good truck,
yeah,
or
so good old
or
school.
a locker, something like, I don't want to have to get the highest trim package in order to get the thing I need, because I don't want all the computer shit in my truck.
Dude, I want heat and AC. I don't even need the stereo. I can put that in. I don't need
I
power
want I
windows.
want I want a new, or an extra wiring harness from the front to the back that has a break in the middle, like it has a spot in the middle you can plug in. But I want that to be for any auxiliary shit that I want to, like, to be set up to where you could put it in an S pod already, and it's feeding off your battery source. Like, you can tie it into, like, the wires are already run. That's what I'm getting at.
Wow. Huh.
But I don't want I don't want electric windows.
Yeah, see, I don't really need all that stuff. I mean, I think having, dude, if it just had a good diesel engine in it,
Yeah.
which, I know it's not, but, or it's highly unlikely, but
Yeah, super
anyway.
unlikely that we'll get anything Toyota with a diesel in it.
Wow.
I don't even think the Tacoma's gonna get one ever.
Nah.
They'll
Nah,
go electric or
I can't
whatever
wait.
else.
I can't wait to see how the Tacoma and the Colorado end up doing head to head with these new 4-cylinder turbos where they're just cranking out just insane amounts of horsepower. I did see a guy posted a video. I wish I'd remember which group it was in, but he shot a video that he went out and test drove a new Colorado. Oh, no, I'm sorry, the GMC Canyon. And it wasn't the AT4, but it was, I guess, the whatever the best package they had at the time. And it was loaded out inside, had all the G Wiz stuff. He said, man, it feels plastic. Everything feels like cheap plastic. He said it was loud inside. The steering wheel, it didn't feel like it was, planted to the ground. It felt real loose and sloppy. And he was just really unimpressed with it, and then turned around and bought a Frontier.
Well, if you're gonna talk about steering, a
But
Frontier steering is
yeah.
something
And
else.
so, yeah, he ended up buying the Frontier. He almost bought the Ranger, but ended up buying the Frontier. But anyway, he shot a video of the new Colorado and said he was not impressed with it. Now, there have been other people that absolutely love the thing. So, it's all subjective
Yeah,
anyway.
it is.
So,
It usually is.
yeah.
Totally true. So, but yeah, I think, I was thinking about our friend Tyler with Independence Overland, if he was going to be like, uh-oh,
Yeah.
because he
Because,
wants to get a new rig and he's looking at the pickup truck. But if something like that would have enticed him,
I mean, he's got that FJ, and I mean, he's kind of like Joey's used every bit of real estate in the damn
yeah,
thing it has,
yeah,
you know.
yeah,
So,
probably 10 times over, rebuild and
oh yeah,
figure it out again, rebuild, figure it out again. So,
yeah.
so yeah, but dude, I'm here.
It still seems weird because,
Dude,
like, I was thinking today, I was like, Michael and I were only like 100 and some change apart from each other. Now we're like thousands and some change, or 1,000 plus and change.
3 to 4,000.
Yeah. And I was like, holy crap, man, it just doesn't it does seem weird that you're all the way up there and you're not gonna be able to come up here and just hang out and, camp on the island with me, or hang out at Chad's, or I mean, what am I gonna do next year
You
at the
can't
Morex?
harass me about going to Dallas, like, when you do your Dallas trips or whatever. Like, hey, I'm going to pick you up. We go to Dallas. Dude, I can't do that. I'm working. Like,
I
you
know.
can't even. Like
I
you can
know.
do it, and I'll be like, dude, I'm working. I can't
Yeah.
go to Dallas.
I'm going to I'm going to up to Dempster or Dalton or whatever they call it. I'm gonna pick you up. No, it does seem weird that you're all the way up there.
I told you a little while before we started that it still feels almost like a vacation still, and
Yeah.
I know that'll change the minute I actually like get to work.
Yeah.
But I'm looking forward to that too.
Craig says just fly up and take a rig out. You know what? That's probably
Yep.
what I'm gonna end up having to do. And as luck would have it, are you gonna do a rigs and coffee in your town? I think it's not a bad idea, Michael.
We'll see.
Um, yeah, Craig, honestly, I've considered that as just flying up and renting a vehicle from you. And Michael and I go out and doing the show. We need to do the radio show up there a couple of times, especially like at night with the
Well,
Northern
dude, when
Lights.
you come up here, we'll get all kinds of video shot. I mean,
Um, yeah, I'm literally, I've almost got all our sponsorship funding together to buy our Starlink for us. So
right on.
we'll have some Starlink.
Cool. Yeah, I need that more than you do now.
You probably do, actually. We get enough sponsors going, maybe we can afford 2 Starlinks. I'll send one your way
Right
so
on.
that you can go out and do radio
Yeah, I mean,
shows.
it'd be a great place to check it out, make sure everything works properly. I mean, when it comes to all that gear that needs to go through its paces, I can show pictures in winter and in summer. So
I hope that you do. I really do. Craig,
well, I didn't
we'll work on it, Craig, for
I
sure.
didn't want to run up and start a Ricks and Coffee or anything like that without really knowing anybody in town. So
Sounds like to me, the only guy you need to know, and that's Craig.
I've met a few people actually. Craig kind of got me. I took a picture of that. I guess it's a 70 series pickup truck. I don't know what you call it with
The Land Cruiser.
the Land Cruiser with an actual truck bed and camper on it. And Craig was like, "Yeah, I know who that is." And so then tagged me on something, and I was able to talk to him for a bit. So
That's so awesome. How far is his shop from where you are?
Oh gosh, 3 hours. About 2 hours 45
So
minutes. So
you just need to get up and go up there and hang out every once in a while. Hey, look who's in the house.
Midland!
Miss Olivia herself. I don't think Michael's had a chance to use the radios yet. He's still moving in.
Not true.
Oh, wait, y'all used them on the way out there together.
That's the other thing I was going to say is when we left our Airbnb in Anchorage, I said, okay, Sarah, there's going to be some places that doesn't have cell phone reception at all. Here are a couple of my Midland handhelds, and take those. Got it set on the channel you need. I'm going to be back in the truck with my 575, so I'll be able to probably hear you. I don't know always that you'll hear me, like the power different. Anyway, I don't know how that works. So we had to split up because we had to get the trailer anyway. She had to get the trailer with her vehicle. The guy had to drive me back to my truck. I said, why don't you go ahead and start? I'll catch up. Right when I got in my truck, I turn it on and I say, hey, and it takes her a minute. And she goes, I forgot the thing was on. And and so she was like, hey, and I was like, so this works? And she goes, yeah, I can hear you perfectly fine. And I'm not sure how far apart we were, but she had a good few minutes head start on me as we were driving. And then I caught up to her really quickly, and we just kept talking, over the GMRS, the whole way up there. And she had battery the whole time. And in fact, when I grabbed it, had plenty of battery left in it. So shut it down. And I was thankful to have those.
No
because
joke,
when
man.
you go through a space and you're driving with a friend, not necessarily an overlanding event, but it's good to have those.
Yep.
Those little handhelds.
Oh yeah. Absolutely, man.
Put in each other's vehicles, because if you lose cell phone service, or somebody's phone dies, just different things like that.
Yeah. You know what? My kids have taken them now, and Amelia takes one as she goes down the street to her friend's house
Yeah.
and takes it with her. And then I keep one here inside, and she'll call me and she's like, "Hey, Dad, I'm fixing to head home." And so I'll get up and walk down the street to where the main street is, where people sometimes tend to drive too fast. I'll walk down and meet her. But yeah, she calls me on them, and it's a quarter of a mile at least or whatever. So I mean, but it's crystal clear. And we used them just when did we use them? We used them on we were doing something just for the wedding this weekend. Sorry, duh.
Oh, really?
Yeah, her in-laws were Felicia's parents were coming up, and so they had them in theirs and we had them in ours, and while we're heading down the interstate we can talk back and forth. So
yeah, it just makes all that much easier.
Oh God, yes. And they yeah. And these new ones, these X Talkers we got, the battery does last longer.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's what I had the X Talkers.
Yeah.
In my head, I was like,
yeah.
Dude.
Well, so it's 8:40. I'm gonna have to bail. Just so everybody knows, my grandkids are in town. My daughter's in town from Salt Lake, and they got to catch a flight. So
that's it.
I'm about to roll.
And then I've got a guest coming on the last Tuesday of the month. So we're going to have a guest out of Canada.
Nice.
That makes canopy campers.
Oh,
you what is it? You can't. What was that one? You camp.
I don't remember now. I don't know how to say it. I can see it, but I don't know how to say
like
it.
YUC, yeah. Like it's one of those that I always fumble, especially since I know the you can camp campers down in Oklahoma. So it messes me up that they're kind of both.
What you need to do is get Craig, now that you he's got a spot. You need to get Craig, get your stuff together so that you're good and mobile. Go hang out down at Craig's and let's do a show down there, and you can show off his spot and the rental rigs and all that stuff. We could do some
live. You get ahead of me on this stuff whenever it's already playing through in the.
You need to do live rig walkarounds on the show.
Live rig walkarounds.
Well, you just have to use your phone to get on here, but
Starlink would make it so much easier.
I bet Craig's got internet at his spot.
Well, I'm sure he does. I was talking about how you're going to have Starlink, and I'm up here where it's needed. So anyway, no, you have a good time.
All right.
Sounds like a plan. Glacier trip.
Look at there. Mr. Will, Venture to Rome himself. Hello, sir.
What up?
He was our co-host, my co-host last week,
awesome.
And he did a great job, even though he was late. But that's okay.
I think it was your fault, if I remember correctly.
I think it kind of was.
I didn't know what you were talking about because I jumped in, and you guys have been going for a while, and you said something. I'm sorry about whatever, and come to find out that it was your fault that he wasn't on because you didn't send it to the right.
So I sent it to his Instagram message thing, and then it hit me. I was like, wait a minute, I think I got his email. I do have his email. As soon as I sent it, he replied. He's like, is it too late? And I'm like, nah, man, jump in. So we had a good time.
Yeah, it seemed like it was pretty fun. Will's always awesome. So yes, Will, I'm back. We got internet. That was the whole thing. We didn't know how long it was going to take to get the internet hooked up, but we had internet when we walked in the door. Like the guy was even still here out doing the outside stuff. And it was like, man, perfect. So I can come in and do the inside part. So we're chugging away.
All right. Well, thanks again to our sponsors, Midland Radios, Midland USA, Overland Attic, and Rugged Bound. Thank you very, very much for all that you guys have done for us. Go check out their websites. Go look at their social media and subscribe to them. While you're out there, check out Will from Venture to Rome. That's the number 2, not spelled out 2. Go give him a follow as well. And then don't forget, now we need to plug Craig. I mean, the guy gave you a ride, so we got to give him some props. So,
Alaska
Overlander.com. AlaskaOverlander.com.
Rent a vehicle.
I mean,
the time of your life.
Comes from internet in Alaska comes from the stork. So I love it. That's awesome.
That's pretty
Well,
cool. All right. Well, let's let you get out of here. We're going to wrap this up. Thank you guys, everybody. Thank you, Lee, for pushing all the buttons, doing the things that you do. Everybody out there that watches, share us. Tell people about it. Tell people that this guy just moved to Alaska. It's pretty crazy. You need to start checking this out. And then Lee knows a little bit about most everything, and it still blows my mind. But you guys are what's awesome. Thank you so much. Whatever you do, make sure that you go all over.